Hello and welcome back to Outer Worlds. Continuing our journey. Alright, so I guess I'm just gonna go straight to that facility. Actually, maybe I could go Spectrum Vodka. A glass for every class. To Adelaide. Maybe I can still try to convince them to not be this annoying.
I'm
Maybe
listening.
they can just join the corporation. No? I guess not. Alright, well, I guess then we're just... Unless there's no other ideas going to be during that choice. What if I just turn off the electricity for both? It's going to be hard to just get back in to the cannery. Like they would know that I did it. Would they be aggressive then? Like, is her body on my side? Would she care?
That's gotta hurt. We made it.
This guy ate a lot. Boulder pistol. This thing again. Same level, same pistol. The sniper rifle is almost out. 9% condition. Still didn't malfunction anyway. Even though it's Spacer's choice. Oh. Mythology log. Ah. It's the second part. My name is Kane van Akke. I am a Spacer's choice ethologist specializing in the fauna of Terra 2. Currently, I am studying the hunting behavior of feral candids. I managed to find a nice hiding spot beside a rather large pack of candids. This is the largest pack of feral candids I've ever seen in the Vale. In a sufficiently large pack, candids will hunt just about anything. This pack could probably take down a small group of primals, giving the chance. Smaller packs then tend to give a wide berth to the primals roaming this region. Sprats and terror rays, however, are fair game for even a lone candid. They may not have encountered primals, but this pack of candids made quick work of a marauder camp they found. I'm afraid I may have to move on before I can study this pack closely. I'll have to leave my things for one of my assistants to pick up later. Kane van Acker. I guess we'll find him at some point. So what happened to this place? It's not... It's just guarded by drones.
Nice one.
Initiated.
There are 5 damage and physical corrosion, shock, and raid. Some enemies are vulnerable to... How do I know which enemies are vulnerable to what? How did you pass this?
That's the last of them.
Oh my... Okay. Fair enough. I guess if they're vulnerable... Wasn't there a shock weapon? Oh, wait, yeah, there we go. Energy based. What? Does it actually shoot? Waste ammo? Okay.
Alt. Sweep.
Don't mess it up.
In the combat, god damn it, so fast. Advanced defensive helmets. Could have gotten it here instead of buying, but it was like 200 cartridges. Disarm security defenses. Accessing security logs inaccessible in keeping with Spacer's Choice company policy. All security logs have been terminated in the event of a major emergency, catastrophic event, or security breach. Attention! Scheduled security updates at this Spacer's Choice facility are critically overdue. Your last scheduled security update occurred on error date not found. If you are a member of the Spacer's Choice security detail assigned to this location, please turn in your identification for immediate reprimand. Failure to do so may result in an immediate reprimand. What did I just read? Let me out of here. Under kids. Ranged weapons skills +5. Armor mode. Extend those sights. Ranged weapon mode sights 2x scope that also extends the weapon's maximum range. Would be nice if they just named it 2x scope. I need to remember that this name is for double zoom. Jeez.
System in.
Don't mess with me.
A lot of explosive barrels. I don't like being around those. Okay. This is a new zone.
Alt.
All together.
Flywheel? Fun side fact, if you have ever wondered why it is hard to push over a functioning automechanical, but it is easy to tip over a non-functioning one, this little device is the reason. Geographic scanner. Interactable highlights range plus 5 meters. Kinda like that actually. Just need a better armor that I like.
That was quick.
Okay, I guess there's not much else. Elite troop armor. It's a heavy one. I guess might as well just consume that. They cost nothing to sell. Implant it to your
The control room should be off to the right. Hope we're doing the right thing.
I bought it for 2,500. Jesus. I don't like light machine gun, I might sell it just as well. Wait, this one actually I could give to my partner. 250, Mr. Zap. Shock mode.
Where are we headed? Look out!
Is that the thing in the middle of them? Did I need to hit? I don't quite understand for now. Still trying to break this weapon too. %0 condition. 42 damage. Actually wouldn't mind a better difficulty, but I have PTSD from the supernova now. Welcome, J. Braden. Braden from Spacer's Choice, Emerald Vale Development and Oversight. Miss Braden. This letter serves as an informal notification of your company's displeasure toward your management of the Emerald Vale geothermal plant for reasons related to exceeding your staff budget in your latest quarterly report. Please select 5 subordinates to be dismissed immediately. Additionally, please contact our office to schedule your official reprimand at your earliest convenience. Failure to schedule your official reprimand will result in an official reprimand. The Spacer's Choice family would like to collectively remind you that working for Spacer's Choice is not a right, but a privilege. From J. Braden. The structure of this still kind of confuses me. So I read something that does not appear here, or is it the same as this one? So the choice gets excluded from this list whenever I choose it, and then reappears? Is that it? It's pretty weird. No need for reprimands. To the esteemed members of the Emerald Vale Development and Oversight Committee, I hope this letter finds you wealthy. After due consideration of your last letter, I have identified and terminated no fewer than 5 subordinates who were unable to provide sufficient justification for their ongoing employment. I would like to remind the Oversight Committee that while most of Emerald Vale has failed to meet its production and output quotas, particularly our agriculture and fishing canning departments, neither of which are anywhere close to profitable, the Emerald Vale geothermal plant remains committed to providing cheap, cost-efficient power to the entire region. Regards, Juno Braden, Manager. Miss Braden, we have investigated the claims made against the profitability of the Greater Emerald Vale region. Our offices agree with you. Agriculture and fishing canning have experienced a steady decline while the Emerald Vale geothermal plant remains somewhat profitable. Our offices are currently investigating ways to implement additional cost-saving measures which will ultimately lead to a linear, more streamlined, more efficient geothermal power plant. Please be informed that the Spacer's Choice Development and Oversight Office has taken a significant insurance policy against the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. The office would like to assure you that this insurance policy is a standard procedure. Do not attempt to interpret, understand, or otherwise extrapolate meaning from this decision. As a special courtesy, we have deployed a proprietary team of engineering specialists to the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. This team of specialists has been instructed to refit and upgrade the plant's population of auto mechanicals free of charge. Thank you for your cooperation. It's not the best choice. Is there any other company weapons that I'll find at any point soon? What?
Yeah. Huh?
Really, that's it? Already here. Emerald Vale geothermal plant operating at 22% efficiency. Power is currently being distributed to Edgewater Salt Tuna Cannery Botanical Laboratory. Warning: structural damage detected. Please notify your designated supervisor. Power redirection function has failed. Manual override required. Please override all 3 electrical track switches. Okay, that's not that easy, I guess.
3 switches. That'll be easy enough.
Mind your head. Low-hanging pipes may be easily damaged by skull impacts. Costs of repair will be docked from pay or assessed to next of kin. Five. Better be something good. This is crap. What the fuck? Oh, what a scam. Again. This facility is in a state of lockdown. Authorization passcode required. Enter passcode. Spacer Thompson. Accepted. Welcome, or Thompson. Did he ever give me that? Personal log. Security office. Personal log. S. Tanaka. Chef of security. Chief. Chester Higgins again. That hullhead found him fiddling around with one of the mechanicals So I had to wire him up for tampering with company property, just in case I'm reading this a couple days from now and feeling bad for what I've done. Let me just remind myself that I've warned him before. He's always been a little crooked in the skull. He was working on some logic module. I confiscated it. Should be in my lock-away room for the foreseeable future. Doesn't sit right with me. Company's been replacing our guards with auto mechanicals. At this rate, I'm gonna end up a chief of security with no staff. Just a small army of mechanicals knocking about, guns pointed every which way. Company tells us they are safe, programmed to treat us humans like their own. People are liable to break down, but auto mechanical never will. I don't know, doesn't sit right with me, but the company's never been wrong before, I suppose. Worst had happened. Mechanicals gone crazy. Locked myself down here just trying to gather my courage. We're gonna make a mad dash for the control room. Might be able to shut things down. Would delete this entry if I ever return. Automated message. Greetings, Security Chief Tanaka. This is an automated message initiated by Spacer's Choice Worker Safety Contingency Protocols. A security lockdown has been initiated. This is not a test. Your behavior during this lockdown will be reviewed during your quarterly audit. Anxiety is a common side effect of life-threatening situations and engendered by security lockdowns. Fight back against anxiety with an ice-cold bottle of Zero G Brew. Zero G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you. Okay. 70. Wait. Optional geothermal, security chief keycard. Okay, so I need to find her corpse. Come back here. I would have needed to like only put things in that eye covering standards attach. Why? Lie +5? This eye patch is comfortable, stylish, and a conversation piece. Reversible for left or right eye use. Also available in mauve and taupe. Is the reference to something? Armor type clothing. Will that matter at any point? Will I need required to have clothing instead? Would be nice if there was like a clothing slot, and then I could like switch between the two if I wanted to. Kinda like in Baldur's Gate. I don't know, like, should I just carry it around too? Like, ugh. A wardrobe.
Got it. Side quizzes.
is she?
You're not real. You're not real.
Higgins.
No, just leave me alone.
I can't tell where she is.
No, just leave me alone. Go away, Phantom.
No, she's all the way down. Well, we'll figure out a way there.
9 You're liable to get scalded.
Unexpected.
Here they come!
Will this actually break down at any point? Or it's just gonna do less damage and that's it? This is pretty lame.
Let it go. If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to them?
Oh, so initiated.
That's the last.
Is that another one? Chester's passcode. Or hacking. 70. I can't get that. Security chief. Can I have your gun? No. Who the hell is Chester? Wait. Jeremy, you traitor! Borrowed a copy of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering. I think it's volume 3. I need something to read down in the bit. Much obliged, C. Higgins. Prepared by Mechanics Log. Corporate just sent a team of technicians to conduct a complete refit of all our mechanicals, every sentry and drone. It's not my place to say so, but doesn't this run counter to the Spacer's Choice mission of being as cheap as possible? Just in case I'm audited, I would like to formally express how grateful I am to be a part of the Spacer's Choice family. Spacer's Choice is the leading brand in affordable sundry across Halcyon. It's not the best choice, it's the Spacer's Choice. Just finished a routine maintenance on our mechanical sentries. I found some strange modifications to their logic modules. I haven't had time to run a diagnostic, so I don't know what's been modified. All I know is that these modifications were introduced in our recent refit. Company went through the trouble of refitting every single mechanical in the plant not so long ago, guessing this was the work of those visiting technicians. I filed a report, but my superior told me not to worry about it. Said the company knew what it was doing, ordered me to forget about any alleged modifications to the logic modules. Decided to do a bit of sleuthing by my own self, got my hands on a logic module. Time to do a little experimentation.
Self-diagnostics complete. Navigation systems operational. Combat systems operational. It's not the best choice. It's the Spacer's Choice.
You made it out of the junkyard.
All systems fully operational. Return journey successfully completed. Spacer's Choice would like to thank you for complying with your duties.
Jesus Lord, why aren't you attacking me?
Hostile actions towards Spacer's Choice mechanics are contrary to logical directive. Conclusion: all hostile automechanicals must be defective in compliance with Spacer's Choice policy. All defective automechanicals must be permanently dismantled. Please allow me to assist.
Let me get this straight. You want to help me destroy those mechanicals?
Affirmative. Mechanicide protocols loaded. Awaiting confirmation.
Confirmation granted. I like the sound of that. Just don't kill that engineer. Please. God, you're slow, Jeremy. Okay, so I could just go back. And finish, but first, corrupted logic module. Okay. So this is for the other quest, for the Mr. General or whatever his name is. Ludwig. And then what about that Chester passcode and that lady? Man, it's been a while. I guess I could modify this thing. I don't know. Let's go with ranged weapon skills. And then this extra armor. And then we can modify her, why not? Will that add to my weight capacity? I guess let's see. It didn't. Damn it. Why not? She's supposed to carry for me. Oh. So, how much does she share? Carrying capacity. It's hard to tell. Wait, what? 69? Armor? What does this mean? 92 weapon? Okay, I have no idea what this number actually means. Can I shut it down? How do I get through here? Engineering 20, shut off the steam. Nice.
Go away, Phantom!
Lady, calm down.
Go away, Phantom!
She's crazy. She repeats the same line over and over again. As if she's an NPC in an RPG game.
You're not real! You're not real!
Ooh, nice. Muzzler. What? Quiet muzzler. Whisper quiet muzzler. A silencer. Ranged weapon mods reduces the noise of each shot. Firing noise minus 90%. Okay, so yeah. A bulky attachment that can be fitted to the muzzle of any Earth standard caliber weapon. It dramatically reduces the muzzle blast and flash during firing, enabling covert kills. Ooh, nice. I need a better rifle. Jeez.
Go away, Phantom!
I feel like my revolver is a better rifle than the rifle right now. But that's a handgun and not a long-range weapon. Long gun.
You're not real! You're not real! Get away from me, Phantom! Shoot! Scram!
Sneak 30. Calm down, I'm not trying to hurt you.
You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
You're not imagining me.
Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for
that's Chester.
definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
What is you do here?
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
You were an engineer?
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
Right, what was that before or after you became a Shishpeak Tycoon?
Oh, before. Definitely before. Sisty Pig Tycoonery was the apex of my long and storied career.
How have you been surviving all this time?
Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides.
So we ate spreads.
Braised. Boiled. Charred. Skewered. Sprats are good eating, friend. Chock full of brain food.
What happened to this place?
Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium.
That's horrible. How could this have happened?
You mean why did the mechanicals go on a murderous rampage? Same reason any of us do, I suppose. The voices told them to do it. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
If you work on these mechanicals, you must know a way to stop them.
Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
Lie 62. Jeez. How can you have Lie 62? Especially with this upgrade system where everything upgrades together. And have only 15... not have enough persuade. Special, okay. Well, it's much easier with persuade or intimidate. I can deal with mechanicals. I made it this far, didn't I?
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead.
Mechanicals follow the behavior of their logic module. Someone tampered with it.
Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
I feel like I already killed every robot.
The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy. Forgot what you were gonna say? Me too.
Oh wait, I had a level up. Where was it? An attempt to alter the setting is punishable by company law. Your infraction has been noted in your permanent record, Higgins. Please see your supervisor to schedule reprimand. Auto mechanicals in this facility have been mandated to target intruders. Any attempt to alter this setting is punishable by company law. Your infraction has been noted. Define intruders. All persons of entities not identified as property of Spacer's choice. Would you like to modify the definition of intruders? Modify definition successfully forwarded to security. Please allow some time to process and remove all recently defined intruders. Wait, this is Jeremy. What was this for? I guess you could have maybe sneaked all this way. Like, The thing is, the difficulty is so easy that it doesn't really matter. It would be cool. Yeah, that was weird.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
I wouldn't mind hearing your opinion.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
The deserters are a community. I can't just destroy what they built.
Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
What other choice do I have, really? Reed tells me Edgewater is going to die without workers in power.
That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
So does she want Edgewater to lose power, or what? Oh, no, she wants deserters to be cut off so they come back. I see your point. I think I am ready to make a decision.
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
I'm glad you did. I like hearing from you.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Yeah, there's no other solutions, unfortunately. Water power regulator is now safe to remove, but any laboratory power regulator is now operating at optimal capacity. Regional structural damage detected. Permanent power failure detected in Edgewater. Notice, blatant disregard for Spacer's Choice property has been logged. Please report yourself to your designated supervisor for immediate reprimand.
I can't stop thinking on Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are
Now
gonna be alright now
you're
they got
captain?
power, but what about the town? All those people.
Wait, what? You're no longer work for your boss? I'm your captain now? All of a sudden, we haven't had this conversation yet. She already switched allegiances. Streetwear basics. Purge incomplete. 2 files available. Space property. I had to borrow your copy of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering. Idea has been sputtering. I need to reference order. Chaos everywhere. Mechanicals gone haywire. Gunfire. Blah 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 blah. This is a nice mode. Now I can see things further away. But this one gives me 5 to all tech skills. Also has 10 armor somehow. Hephaestus. Is that a different company? Yeah. It's a different company. But it's hard to tell because there's no like a different background. Wait. There is a different background, but it's so subtle actually. Yeah, in Borderlands it's much more pronounced. You can barely notice it. Here it's the same color. Can see the sun.
Any luck finding one of those manuals? No kidding! Really? Well, which... The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible! You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set! All 3 parts! I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen! Aside from you. Ms. Parvati. I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
Alright, a mode, I guess.
Do you hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? It whispers across the veil like the winds of change. You've done well. I would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence.
Hey, the town all you wanted won't bring your son back.
Blunt as a hammer. But you're right. Nothing can undo the past. Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. A lot of workers out there with nowhere else to go.
Or they just come here for the core and take it by force. I don't know why they would need to dilly-dally about it. They could go to that station, redirect the power again. You don't sound too pleased.
I don't look forward to turning folk away. Camp's gotta stay pure, though. Can't have corporate loyalists mixing with us, no matter how desperate they may be. I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. The plant's crawling with mechanicals, so it stands to reason you risked your life.
Between your camp and Reed's Cannery, yours is the better way of life.
You're not quite like anyone else I've met. You haven't had your consciousness programmed by the board. You're welcome among us if you're ever so inclined.
Trading.
Something I can help you with? Fresh off the
54 discount, nice. Da, da, da. Is there a way to like cancel? Buy it back? No? Man, it's like almost every game has it. Like that, but not this one. Because I'm scared. Could just accidentally do it. Any armor. Why the armor increased on the helmets?
Town's been dark a while now. Could be a mechanical trying to sabotage us.
You mentioned a logic module. I found one in the geothermal plant.
Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the Resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Take care. Ooh, shock stick, 53 damage. That's nice. I don't know what's Plasma's thing. Power attack damage plus 20%. What is a power attack? Melee weapon attack speed plus 15%. Still, DPS is still worse. Somehow. Level 9 pistol? Halcyon. Still Spacer's choice. So wait. Outer Worlds. Do guns actually break? Hard to tell. But this rifle can continue shooting. I think the reload is longer and damage is a bit lower, but that's it really. A guy says you can no longer use it, it stays in your inventory and you can repair it. But it's not true. My shotgun broke in my hands and I've repaired it twice now. What? Am I just this lucky that the gun never breaks? Uh-oh. Okay, I guess I could repair it now. Might need it. Also, I'm kind of sick. 92 parts, Jesus. Wait, my part's 92. I need 39.
Maybe Adelaide was right to leave.
Desertion is a criminal offense, punishable by hard labor.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters, plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
To teach you a lesson.
Is that right? I'm dying to hear this. Please, educate me.
It has had the right idea. I had to make you see that. You are all slaves to Spacer's choice. I'm liberating you. Life is full of betrayals. I'm just the most recent one. You're a horrible person and you deserve everything that's coming to you. I mean, my explanation would be that I don't like you both, but if I had to choose, I would rather choose Adelaide. You're all slaves to Spacer's choice. I'm liberating you.
Liberating? Edgewater is my home. The only home I've ever had. I put down roots here, gave decades of my life to this place. I never asked to be liberated. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you.
What's going to happen to Edgewater?
Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence.
I'm sorry about all this, Reed.
Apologies won't give us our lives back. But for what it's worth, I am sorry too.
Call off your guards. I don't want them bleeding all over my power regulator.
All right, easy now. Let's not do anything we'll regret. I'll order my guards to stand down. Take what you came for and then leave us be. Stand down, all of you. We're done here.
That's right. That one went surprisingly smooth. Okay. So what about what is it? Reputation. Both revering, even though I basically shut down their whole town. Okay, that's it. Say goodbye to people, I guess.
How am I supposed to file a report with the power dead?
Power's gone. Law knows how long. Looking to get drunk? Go ahead.
You asked me about myself.
Suppose I did. Ready to talk about it?
You wouldn't believe if I told you.
That right? Prove it.
I am the last survivor of the Kona Sheep Hope. Everyone else is frozen.
Oh, I know that serial drama. They were playing it just the other night. What was it called? The Last Spacer? You're right. I don't believe you. I'd advise you to keep that story unsaid. Don't want people thinking you're a loon.
So much for small talk.
You tried the best.
I've been asking around. No one seems to know anything about the Hope.
The Hope? No, I've never mixed a drink by that name. I could get you a rum and something if you
We
like.
just talked about it.
Wait, no, never mind. We're all out of something.
Why is it that nobody wants to talk about the Hope?
I don't know what fancy bars you've been crawling, but the rest of us make do with 0G. 0G brew, an ale that's good for what ails you.
I'm not talking about the drink. I'm from the Hope myself.
You feeling a bit flushed? Look, why don't you go set yourself down in the corner before you get all tangle-footed?
I'm not drunk. I just want to know if anybody else made it from the Hope.
Then pretend you're drunk. Sober folk don't talk the way you are. Not unless they're looking for a trip to Tartarus. The Hope's folklore, all right? 60, 70-year-old folklore by now. The board don't approve of spreading seditious rumors and falsehoods. You're inviting trouble talking that way, and I don't want a part of it.
You sound scared.
Look, either shut your gob or stick a drink in it. We're done talking about this.
Whatever, give me a drink.
Coming right up.
Give me water.
Where are we headed?
You're not going to... Okay.
I can't possibly cut anyone's hair in the dark. all the lights off.
Oh. These guys are sealed? Just gonna die? Just the doors can't work without electricity? That's pretty extreme.
Power's out, but I can't just leave my goods unattended. Don't suppose you'd care to do business?
I have some
Go right ahead.
questions. Actually, never mind.
Work your job. Music to
Just this now. I mean, I guess I could have it. The discounts pretty huge. I think that's it. Let's go spacing.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post.
Okay, we're finally talking about it. Those deserters left Edgewater behind, nothing keeping you from doing the same.
I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
You just met me. Why would you want to go into space with a stranger?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I had my misgivings about Miss McDevitt and the deserters, but you took pity on them and sent power to their garden even though you knew Mr. Thompson would hate you for it. All this time, you've been determined to get your regulator back, get your ship up and running, and cut a path out of this place. And well, I want in.
You really want out of Edgewater that badly?
Not much of an Edgewater left to go back to. My whole life's been small. I realized that when you walked into town. I've been seeing the same faces every day, the same sky, the same stars. Then I saw this ship. This gorgeous, stately lady with her eyes turned skyward, and I made up my mind to come along with you.
I'm not interested. I would be glad to have your own. Pick a cabin, it's yours.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now.
Sure, already was.
Captain.
We got a priest out of all roles to fill.
I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the
About to
Unreliable.
cry.
I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
I'd like to know something about those I'm flying with. What's your story?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Violently enthusiastic disposition?
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them.
Why were you so passionate about it?
My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
But weren't they proud when you became a vicar at least?
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me.
What's this plan you keep talking about?
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan.
It's a convenient way to control the masses.
It can be if abused, but that can be said about anything. However, in the case of the Board and Halcyon, sadly, I believe you are correct.
Seems quite trusting of you to sign on without knowing anything about me.
I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated.
What if the book doesn't have the answers you're looking for?
I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me. What about you? What's your story?
Well, I guess we're in the same ship, so I might as well just... There's no Haythorn story. I was a colonist on the Hope, but a scientist named Welles saved me.
And how did he do that?
He stole my body from the Hope at the edge of the colony and thawed me out.
Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now?
I'm helping to recover more of the chemicals he needs to save the rest of the colonists.
That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you?
I had family on Hope? Did I have family? I have no idea. Just because it's the right thing to do.
A commendable attitude.
Tell me again about the book that we picked up that's in French.
Bocconu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
You already told that. Remind me, what are your thoughts on the Philosophists?
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the Philosophist perversion of Bocconu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
Any ideas where we can find someone who speaks French in this colony?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous Philosophist scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bocconu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
Okay. Would be cool if your backstory was a Frenchman and you could actually translate this book. That's the only thing you can do. The only thing special about you. Seriously? Only one guy in this whole colony that can translate French?
The only one I'm aware of. I suppose we could always just ask random passers-by if they are fluent in it.
That sounds like a great idea.
I can't believe my desperation has led me to you. Well, I just remembered there actually is a list like that. The Groundbreaker has access to it. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
How is that a simple beaker happens to be such a highly skilled hacker?
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems.
How will a crew manifest help us track down your scholar friend?
I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophist's off-world destination.
Sounds good, let's go.
Thank you, Captain.
So apparently there was a coat somewhere near workbench. And I could have slept all this time, as I've heard. Oh, there it is. Jesus. Well, who knew?
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do for you, Captain?
I have a power regulator.
Do you know how to install a power regulator?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, Up the ladders.
I also have an engineer who could do this kind of thing, so I don't have to. So this is the engine. I really like the Mass Effect core engine room. That's been a pretty cool one. It's a nice piece of sci-fi. This is just like, okay. Breaking legs. Is this supposed to be a camera? The way she doing her surveillance.
What can I do for you, Captain?
I've installed a power regulator.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Let's get out of here. Paddles? Oars? What are those for?
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Good, I've been waiting to hear from him.
Aha, there you are. Hail and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
I've been feeling a little lightheaded. Also can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Okay, that's a lot of stuff. Gladys Calculate nav key. Groundbreaker. Can't I land somewhere outside Stellar Bay?
In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Kelly.
You said something about needing a nav key to land on a Monarch.
Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the,
you know, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
What's stopping me from just leaving housing altogether?
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the hope.
About this Gladys person, how do I know I can trust her?
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
Fine, I'll go have a word with Gladys.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
You want to explain what a holographic shroud is?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits, first-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
People will actually fall for this. Seems far-fetched.
Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you.
You mentioned this thing has limitations.
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their
actual
attention.
sneaking
If
mission.
they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
Why do I need a gadget for this? Couldn't I just steal a universe or something?
A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. Modulates your voice and sweetens your breath.
How does it change fingerprints? It's a tactile. How the hell does a hologram sweeten your breath?
Science, that's how.
Oh, great.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Okay, so that's that. Is that the world the planet we've been on? And the groundbreaker is like a station somewhere? Landing pad. That actually reminds me of Mass Effect character screen. Wait, you can have two? How much? What's the max? Up to 2 companions to accompany. Okay. Interesting. Wait, are we actually already at the place?
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it?
Did you learn your trade from your father? Sounded like it when you talked to Reed.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
I don't see the humor.
He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
Why would people be unhappy about you getting a maintenance job?
Because they were hoping their own kid would get the job and get sent back to Edgewater. When folk go away for schooling, they don't get back to where they begun. Not usually. You go straight to your first job, wherever the company's got an opening.
You don't have any say in it at all?
I reckon you could say, no thanks, I don't want a job. But then you don't got a job.
One aptitude test determines your whole life?
Well, they're powerful good tests. They rattled off this whole list of names who'd worked on them, with fancy bits hanging off them. Doctors and esquires and the thirds. Even if you don't believe they actually catch what everybody's best at, everybody's got to take them. So at least it's fair-ish.
But you actually are good at this and you enjoy it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
After school, you moved straight back to Edgewater?
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
He wasn't that old, was he?
No, but a whole life taking care of Edgewater by his lonesome, working with all kinds of chemicals, it wears on a body. When I left for school, everything got harder for him. I used to help him lift the heavy things, and my hands didn't shake for the fine detail work.
Did you get much time with him after you got back from school?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work, so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects, or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ears so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
What do you think of the ship?
That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
That's the ship's computer. No, it's not intelligent, but it does good imitation.
So you're gonna call her it, not she?
Though my voice is currently pitched to suggest female, I possess no gender. Any pronoun preferred by the user is acceptable.
Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
What do you think, Parvati? Is this safe to fly now that we got the regulator?
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
I think it's time you... wait. No, that's asking for leave. Right? Forever. Okay, is there anything new in this ship now? There was...
Want to be a brand new you?
No.
Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
What's this?
I like what you've done with the place. Kitschy collectibles are such a human inclination.
Oh yeah, where are they? Projects a disguise on you and your companions that give you access to restricted areas, provided you have the correct ID cartridge to that area. Restricted areas are off limits to unauthorized personnel and otherwise result in being attacked on sight. That's just a quest item, I don't actually need to do much with it. I guess this could be my storage. I don't know if I really care though. I guess I could have... This mod stuns and damages melee attackers. This effect has a cooldown. Okay, I can have that and the dialogue skill upgrade. I need a better armor before I install it. There's also suppressor. That's actually horrible storage. I would need to like lease through all of them to get to where I want. So really realistically I could store maybe 10 items without it being completely annoying. Haythorn unread messages. from Bedford. Thank you. Wingman's Wingman, Bedford. Alex Wingman Haythorne. Oh, I got to mention in my previous message. Silly me, I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly board approved, so don't you go showing it around to your spacer buddies. I hope it will amuse you while you are out adventuring. Any similarities to a certain someone are entirely intentional. Wink wink, Udom. Archive. More Bedford. I just had one friend. Dearest Alex, I can't tell you how pleased I am to finally hear from you. Your message was hilarious. I'm delighted by your sense of humor and the tale of your hijinks. I hope your terminal will cooperate for the foreseeable future. By the by, I was scrapping Groundbreaker's comms network for tasty little tidbits, and I noticed you declined to dock at Edgewater's landing pad and instead touched down in the wilderness. You ragged individualist, you. I only pray that idiot Thompson wasn't giving you any trouble. Anyway, I hope your meeting down on Terra 2 proves fruitful, and I look forward to corresponding with the greater regularity. Your best friend, Udom. Alex, I don't know where you were raised, but I'd hazard to guess it may have been a barn, because anyone with even a modicum of decent rearing would know it is unforgivably rude to ignore the ardent, sincere messages of one's friends. Best Udom, please respond. Dear Alex, hello, hope this finds you well. It was a pleasure to see you in my office again last week, so they actually saw each other. It would be funny if this guy was like rising to different Haythorns and there's been like a whole bunch of them dying and taking the identity of Alex Haythorn, and you don't even know who was the first one. But these guys met. Happened the second time. Terminals these days, I swear, dreadfully unreliable. Haha, just like your ship. I hope you're giving some thought to that thing we discussed, you know, about the Wellies fellow. I'm sorry to press, but I have the strangest tickling feeling that you really do know him, and if you could just tell me where he is, well, it would be marvelous for our friendship, wouldn't it? Looking forward to see you again, Wingman. Wink. Yeah, he might be like a bit of a rat. Hello, Udom. Udom here, Udom Bedford. We met when I accidentally impounded your ship. My silly fat fingers embarrassing me once again. I hope that wasn't too terribly inconvenient for you. It was such a pleasure for me, and I tremendously appreciate your forbearance in not throttling me. You really are quite the gentleman. If you're ever in Groundbreaker's airspace, well, space, please don't hesitate to look me up. The Lost Hope serves Spectrum vodka. Perhaps we could try every color, you know, really tie one on. Let me know. Your new friend, Udom. Log entry. But Haythorn never replied. So it's not actually a friend. Shrink Ray. The hell is this? Captain's note SW1 Shrink Ray. Note to self, remember this later. No better Ada. Remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask me that? Back to my point. I saw in actuality with my own two eyes a sublimely powerful weapon in Welly's lab, just sitting there for me for the taking. If the gray hair were to look away or forget about it, maybe, or if I had asked a smidgen more nicely. I called it a shrink ray, but wouldn't let me test that claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievements of other scientists who dared to push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I had heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapon that pushed the boundaries of the mind and science catching edge, but I figured they were just stories, to be honest. Laying eyes on Welly's shrink's ray firsthand is enough to make a fellow wonder if there's more to the rumors. More to be had. Elix Heistorn. Hammer power. The last time I got sloshed, was imbibing at the Lost Hope on the Groundbreaker. Look, Udo was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fellow. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdropped on two Mardets yammering on about a mad scientist some years back who'd claimed he'd made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like, none of us have heard that one before, but here's the good part. The Mardets said the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power, or something similar. A strange weapon with a special power created by a crazy lab coat. Sure fits the bill. It could be another one of the weapons that inspired Wells. Okay. What is this for? Black market leads. Why? Why? Why not once Wells just give the shrink ray to me? Blast him to the depths of the labyrinth on Tartarus and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting him down 5 times, but architect be damned, it's just sitting there, neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered it and thanked him without asking permission or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't ready yet, and then even if we were, he couldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does that even mean, I ask? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I'd use it to wipe out the good, hard-working folks of the colony like some sort of moralist psycho? I'll admit to maintaining some questionable associations, but I follow a strict code of me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect in that? Exactly. Now I have to wait until Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. In the meanwhile, I have been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to others of these science weapons throughout Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check with the black market merchants on the Groundbreaker and in Volbrook. Jeez, okay. Seems like science weapons are the best. Oh, it's gonna take a while to get to those, I guess. Acquire Phineas science weapon. More stuff. Seems like it's gonna be a sneak mission. Hmm. Hack auto mechanicals, turn them off for 20 seconds. How do you do that? The perk. Armor, I guess? The thing is, I still don't have science weapon. I could have carrying capacity. It was kind of a annoyance. I feel like I'll have a better game. I don't think I will be struggling with difficulties, so might as well. Okay, this guy. Could give him that. The shotgun. It's a... Yeah, but that's not ranged weapon. It's better off with this. Perks. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Whatever benefits me is better. So now, let's see, I should have even more hacking. $60. Nice.
Make yourself at home, Captain.
Puffball plants. So like the spores of the puffball cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil. We put down the roots, new roots, Adelaide. Interesting. Yeah, where do I keep the posters and such? Sam. There's no response from the automechanical unit. The serial number etched in its chassis includes the letters SAM. Ready for a prank. Sam wrote the sign for a week before Ada noticed and pointed it out to the janitorial unit, who placed it on the unit, however, remains a mystery. Petunia, this is not Petunia. Who's this room? Guess Parvati? Yeah. Wait. What is this for? The criminal studies, inequity and equations. These textbooks. Okay, I guess this is where I'm going to end. We'll explore it later. Finally get into space. Alright, getting to know this game a bit more. I like the story parts and the role-playing parts. They're very similar to what Obsidian were doing before, but I guess, well, on a bit of a smaller scale, I would say. Yeah, I don't really like shooting all that much, to be honest, but yeah, the story parts, it is interesting to go through all the dialogues and choose. I guess we'll see where it goes with that. Yeah, it seems less to be like choose your own adventure type of game and more like we have a plot of a main plot and we have to go through with that. We'll be thrown on like big zones where you could do like side quests and such. But we're still tied to this main thing, which is fine, I guess. Right. See you around.